Episode 24. Welcome back. If this is your first time finding the show, wow, good job. That's awesome. Thank you so much for finding it. If you have an Apple product like an iPhone or a Mac computer, you probably have an Apple ID. You can go leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. We do this show once a week. Eric and I are not in the same state, mentally, physically, spiritually, or geographically, but we exist here on the internet. Right where you found us, as soon as you turn us off, we cease to exist. We're here on the internet all the time if you want. How's it going, buddy?
Oh my God, so good. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing good. Yeah.
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 I text you last night some shit,
Uh-huh.
and then I get a fucking rebuttal at yeah, like midnight, 12:30
Rebuttal.
my time, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, he's up late. So is that
Yeah.
normal for you? Do you just wake up sporadically through the night?
It's this because I've worked 10 days in a row now, and now I finally have 2 days off, like a breath, like coming up for a gasp of air before I have to go back under for 10 days. Um, but like for the last 10 days, I've woken up at like 2 or 3 o'clock every morning and then gone back to sleep. So yeah, that's normal. That's completely normal.
Do you just get up for a minute and then go back to sleep, or do you get up?
No, I get up for like a half an hour. like I
What do you do? What's your
usually
routine? You just go
I
potty
usually
and then
go, yeah, like go eat something really quickly and then go back to bed.
that's
The
crazy.
I know. The other day when you messaged me something that required me to log on to a website, I woke up at 2:30 or whatever and just got on the computer and fucking was trying to find all this stuff for like 10 minutes and then went back to bed. Yeah, it's crazy. It's a little bit of crazyville, but it's normal for me, I guess.
That can't be like healthy, you know what I mean? Like interrupting your sleep
No.
like that.
No, cuz you're supposed to sleep, you
Yeah,
know.
'cause you're
Yeah.
like getting out of your fucking rim, you know what I mean? And then you're
I know.
probably hours before you get back into it.
Yeah, you
So you're
need
get
that REM.
you need that
Fuck.
rim. I don't even really know what that means, but they say it and it sounds good.
Yeah. So there's something weird that happened to me. Fucking so
Uh-oh.
last week after we finished the show and the next day when I uploaded the show, I felt really good about the show. And
Okay.
then the following about episode 23, then the following day I listened to the show while I was working and then I went to such a dark, depressed place so quickly after listening to the show.
On episode
I
22?
23, I sort of spiraled quickly because I was like, God, I said some things that I felt I shouldn't have said, and I really hated myself for saying them. And it wasn't based off of anyone saying anything. It's all just based off me. And I shouldn't have said. And I'm not here to apologize because, this was a long time ago. This was 5 days ago that I felt this way. So I shouldn't have said the things about drinking that you're a coward, sort of, if you turn to alcohol for your problems. I was really beating myself up for saying that because I'm like, oh my God, like Mr. Perfect, Mr. fucking on his high horse, has no problems, is the perfect blueprint for life. And I was just picturing people listening to it being like, this guy is such an idiot. This guy thinks that he's, got it all together or whatever. And I just shouldn't have called people cowards for doing that. And then I was starting to get all freaked out about maybe it sounded like I was defending that Cuties movie, and this is all just
Oh my
craziness
God, you were
inside my. I know,
you're
and it's
freaking
not
out,
even.
buddy.
I was freaking out, and uh, it wasn't even based off of anybody saying anything. It was just all me. And then a couple of our great listeners convinced me that I had nothing to worry about.
Yeah, you have nothing to worry about. If anybody has anything to worry about, it's me. I say way more ridiculous shit than you do.
Well, yeah, and
And
then I was
and
thinking,
I
I'm like,
sleep
this is,
like a fucking baby at night.
and I was like, this must be what Eric feels like when he was saying stuff about how like racism's not real or whatever the fuck you were saying that one time. Um, and I don't. It was just Crazyville. I really went to. I was really really down in the fucking dumps that day for that.
Yeah,
I don't know what it was.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
I was
I
just
get what
listening to
you're saying.
like I was just listening to like sad country music, and I was just literally walking around outside with like my head hung down, and I was just like, I am such a fucking stupid idiot. I'm
Are
so
we over
dumb.
that now, or
Yeah, I'm over it.
is this lingering? Is this a lingering
No,
thing?
I'm no,
Or you
I was over
just
it a few hours later. I was just fucking I don't know what. It was weird.
ah,
But I
some
still don't think I should have said that cuz like you're not a coward if you do that. I'm not here to call people cowards, you know?
yeah, I guess you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Okay,
Um
okay.
but and then on another note, I was talking to a lovely listener of ours in Spokane, and she had some feedback for you. And she said, here's what she just said. I think Eric is really coming into his own with the show. Like every episode, he seems more comfortable. You've done this before, but he hasn't. It's fun to see his improvements.
Ah,
I was like,
that
what a
that's
nice thing
very
to say.
sweet. That's very
Yeah.
sweet, and I feel the same way. I was gonna say something after the show to Brad. I was like, dude, every episode I get more and more comfortable. I think it's weird. It's yeah. I don't know. I've talked about it before. Like I've been on stage a bunch of times, but this is kind of different when you're. I've never expressed my ideas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's what this is all based on. So I feel like the first few episodes, or the first 15 episodes we did, I don't know. It was like I was talking really fast. You know what I mean? It was
Yeah.
just like my brain's just go. I got to be interesting. I got to be interesting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't fuck up anything. Blah 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 blah. And it's just
Yeah.
funny when you just relax. It's kind of with everything. You just relax, and it all
Right.
just gets better.
Yeah, it gets better. Yeah.
Boom. So, I some weeks I have good topics to cover, and some weeks, like this week, but it always changes. When I listen back to an episode, it's like, actually, that worked out pretty good. This week,
Yeah.
it's just a bunch of rapid fire shit, is what it seems like, is what I got.
Okay.
Um, fucking,
Sweet.
and I'm sure you know all about this one, but I think it's bananas. I'm sure a lot of people know this one. Is that
Okay.
the three coaches got fined fucking $100,000 for not wearing a fucking face mask in football? It was Pete Carroll, and you didn't hear this?
Oh no, I heard about it.
That's crazy talk. I mean, I get it. I
Yeah.
totally get it. But that's
Yeah.
bananas. I had heard
Yeah.
that, and then it was a few days later I heard not only did they get fined, but then the teams themselves got fined 250,000 fucking dollars.
Yeah.
That's crazy talk. How much does a coach make if he's getting fined
Hmm.
$100,000 for just not wearing a face mask? Like, how much did that actually affect him? You know what I mean?
Right.
Is he make like that? Is that like a quarter of his season's earnings? Is that a tenth of his season earnings? Did they make a
It
million a
says
year?
that Pete Carroll signed a 5-year, $35 million contract,
Oh
which
shit! Yeah.
makes every year the salary is $7 million.
So
So it's not
it's
that bad.
kind of a drop in the bucket. It's a little hefty.
Kinda.
If he did that every game, yeah,
Yeah.
he'd be. Well, how much would that be? Like $1 million? How many games are there? 15 games? 10 games?
Yeah, if there's 15. 15 if you don't go to
Regular
the playoffs.
season?
Yeah.
Regular season. Damn, dude, I got that right. I'm proud of
Yeah.
myself right there. I'm pretty
Jesus.
proud of myself. Are you proud? I'm proud of
Yeah,
that.
that's impressive. Yeah, that's
That was a
good.
good guess.
Yeah, that's a good guess. You can get fined for a lot of shit. I mean, if there's a rule and then you don't follow the rule, like the fine's coming. So
Is that
you
not
know,
drastic for the NFL? Like $100,000? Like just take away the whole coronavirus thing. If it was something different and he got fined 100,000, would you just be like, yeah, that's normal?
yeah, I'd say that's probably normal. Yeah, because I mean, like if you do a dirty hit on someone or something, you can get fined. If
A
you
hundred thousand
fucking
dollars.
sure, if you put a middle finger up to a fan, boom, you're getting fined like 100 or more. Like
To
you can
the
get
and
fined.
this money just goes to the NFL corporation.
I guess.
What do they do with the money?
I don't know. It's a non-profit organization,
The fuck does that mean?
right? I don't know.
How? Wait a second.
The
I,
NFL is a non-profit organization.
they're out there running some kind of Epstein Island, is what's going on.
I don't know. Yeah, that's. I mean, they're just trying to. I know. I
No,
don't know.
I get
It's
what they're doing,
Corona.
and they are
Yeah.
like, especially that, like, the NBA did what they did, and even though they're
Yeah.
taking the fans out of the stands, I
Yeah.
feel like they're kind of on a hot seat right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they
Yeah.
are a fucking coronavirus away from fucking the whole
Right.
thing toppling down. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like it does make sense. I don't agree. You guys all know my theories on Corona, but yeah, I
Plus,
get it.
plus all these players and staff are getting tested like fucking 2, 3 times a week. Like the
If
tests are
they
just
didn't
flying.
do that, if they didn't find someone a few days later, that would have been on every major headline that Pete Carroll
Right.
wasn't wearing his fucking head mask,
Exactly.
and the NFL
Yeah.
doesn't care, and
Yeah.
blah 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 blah. So I get
Yeah.
it. I get it.
It's a save face kind of thing, I guess.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice. I don't know. Because they're like allowed. They have to wear masks, but they're allowed to like pull the mask down to make a play call, like out onto the field or something. Then they have to put it back up. It's fucking weird. And
Yeah.
the other night, Sunday Night Football, was the Las Vegas Raiders versus the New Orleans Saints, and I hated it. And
Okay.
I'm
Why?
alone. I'm alone in this because all the people I talked to were all like, "Oh no, we love it." But I don't like the Raiders in Las Vegas. I think the Raiders belong in Oakland.
It is
I'm
weird.
sorry.
It's always weird when teams switch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the Seattle
Yeah.
Sonics and shit like that. It's like, what? You know what I mean? I don't know. You grow up, like,
Yeah.
especially the Oakland Raiders. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
like the names are like so synonymous with each other. The
Yeah.
Oakland Raiders. But I get that. And I'm not a football fan, but I do. It is bananas that Los Angeles or Las Vegas doesn't have a fucking football team. Like, out of all
Why
the
does everybody
cities,
think that? I don't think
because
that.
it's Vegas. It's like there's
Yeah.
very few cities that are like destinations to go to. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it is the number one destination in the United States as far as like just somewhere to go. Like, just to go to that city is Vegas.
Yeah. It's just.
And then so
it
you
just
go
seem-
to
it
Vegas,
seems-
they got the
Yeah.
they got the raceway there. You know what I mean? They have like huge events that happen in Vegas.
Yeah.
The World of Concrete is in Vegas. You know what I mean? Any major thing is in
Okay.
Vegas. So if you're a football fan, wouldn't that be dope to go? Like, and
Yes.
Vegas is set up properly. Like, okay, if you are let's say, what's your team? Fucking the Eagles, right? Which is out of
Yes.
Philadelphia.
Uh-huh.
Let's say you want to go to a Philadelphia game.
Uh-huh.
Don't you think it's a little bit more like stressful and harder to choreograph everything when you have to go to this city that's not really meant for tourism? It isn't built around tourism. So it's not like you go there and there's a million hotel rooms. You know what I mean? And everything's just based
Yeah.
around traveling there. So it's going to be easier for fans to go to Vegas, get a hotel room. Everything's set up for people
I see what you're saying.
to
Right.
get around there. So it's going to be a funner experience for fans to go to Vegas, go see their team in a brand new fucking stadium. It's bananas, isn't it? Like, they have like
Apparently.
the coolest stadium right now, right? Which is funny that
No.
they finish it and then no one can even fucking go there.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I just don't like it because it's like I still feel like Vegas sort of doesn't have any character. It's just tourism. It's like a
Have you
giant
been
circus.
to Vegas?
No,
You have no room to talk.
I'm
Vegas
just
is
saying my
very
perception
fun.
of Vegas. My perception of Vegas is that it's just like a giant circus. But it's
It
like
is.
the people who go, they're like, we're gonna go to Vegas because we want to party or do this thing, whatever we're doing, and we'll go to a Raiders game. It's not like, oh, we're Raiders fans. So the stadiums feel like is going to be filmed or filled with people who just went to the Elton John or the Celine Dion show or
There's
whatever,
gonna be
and then they went to the
definitely-
game.
There's definitely going to be a big part of that. But I
Yeah.
will say Vegas is because Vegas just got a hockey team,
Uh-huh.
like a few years ago, dude. And
Yeah.
then when you go to Vegas, they ain't fucking around. Like, that shit is. You show up in the airport and everything. The whole fucking airport is hockey.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
they were
well,
so ecstatic about that. And, like, the first person I talked to in Vegas when I got in a taxi cab, that first thing out of their mouth was just like, "Oh, we're so, they're like, oh, we're so excited about having a hockey team." Like
Yeah.
they're rallying around. All the people in Vegas are so excited to get these sports teams. They're huge about it.
I don't
Say
like
what
it.
you want
It's
about Vegas, and
Oakland.
I've never lived there, but I think there is a sense of camaraderie. If you talk to people that are from Vegas or live in Vegas, there's something about Vegas, especially locals. Locals, like the fact that their city is such a mecca for tourism and people that don't live there and are just in and out. There's like this other side of like they all stick together. You know what I mean? And it's like
Yeah.
they kind of hate they don't hate the tourism because it brings in all this money, but
Yeah.
they're like a unit, and they're just like, they all know the tricks, how to get things cheaper. You know what I mean? How to
Yeah.
weave in and out of shit. And so they like it's like it's a jazzy thing. You know what I mean? It's a Vegas thing. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh my God. Yeah, I just feel like Oakland has a lot more character to it. I like a stadium where you're like
have
if
you
you're
ever been
walking
to
around,
Oakland?
yeah, duh.
Oakland's a fucking shithole.
Yeah, so character. I like a stadium if you're like walking up the stairs or whatever that has like cracks in it. There's like, puke dried in the cracks. There's like a history, like
Yeah,
like this team's been here this long, and there's like
and
signatures on the wall, and
yeah, yeah.
I'm seeing on Monday Night Football like there's a giant banner of like Elvis wearing a Raiders jersey, and I'm like,
I wonder what
oh
the
my God,
percentage of, because I bet there's a
just
high percentage of people that go to Raiders games, like that travel to that did travel to Oakland to go to Raiders games. I bet there's
yeah,
like a 1% of the crowd there got mugged on their way to an Oakland game.
okay, yeah,
That's just part of the experience. That's just
yeah, I
another
guess,
crack in the wall. You know what I mean? Like, there's history here. I was mugged on the way here. Like,
yeah,
beautiful city.
yeah. Yeah, I've been to an Oakland A's game, but it's like, yeah, I see what you're saying because it's like there's airports around here that have like direct flights to Vegas for like a
Yeah.
hundred dollars or
and and
$100 or
and getting
whatever.
into Vegas, the city is built around it. You know what I mean? It
It's
is built.
stupid.
Whereas if you fly into, I don't know, I've never been to Philadelphia. I've never been to some of these bigger meccas like Boston, yeah, or
Yeah,
just any of these big cities. But from what I've seen and what I've heard is it's not fun to get around these cities. You know what I mean? If you're not from that
right.
city and you fly in, you rent a car, you're gonna be fucking white knuckling everywhere you go. Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
this is crazy talk. I have no idea where I'm
yeah,
going. Where in Vegas, it's not like that. You know what I mean? Everyone, like, when you go downtown, traffic's slow. People aren't honk. They're not. When you're downtown Vegas or like on the strip, people aren't fucking screaming. They get the fuck out of my way. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I'm sure it happens, but they're
yeah,
all going slow. Everyone's based around, yeah, there's people walking everywhere. That's how it's supposed to be. People out
yeah,
there drinking. Like, whereas you're
yeah.
downtown New York City, people are like, get the fuck out of my way. You're like, I don't even know where I'm going right now.
I say move back to Oakland. I'm part of that group.
I'm
You
on the Vegas thing because now I
abandon your
actually think
fans.
I would go see an NFL game. I would
Well,
go
I
to
would
Vegas
too.
to go see
I
one.
would, I would too. I would too. It just, I don't know. It just seems like a gimmick now. It's like a tourist from fucking wherever can buy like a little Raiders keychain and like, get my little jersey. Have you ever?
I get
Do you
no.
know about? Do you know who they're playing tonight? No, I don't know who they're playing tonight. I just went to the Backstreet Boys show on the Strip, and now I'm going to the Raider game. Like, oh my, it's like the Harlem
You're
Globetrotters,
like a
basically.
purist of football fans. You're like, don't you fucking? You don't even know. I've been there since day fucking one.
Yeah, that's what I'd be saying if I was a Raiders fan. I'd be like, you abandoned me in the city. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm alone, and I'm watching the game, and I'm like, this is just so weird. Them being in Vegas, I hate everything about this. And then it's like, oh, we have a halftime show. We're gonna be listening to live music on top of this hotel, and the band that's playing is the Killers. And I'm like, what? They're playing the song "Mr. Brightside," and I'm like, where am I? What the fuck is happening right now? Fucking
Yeah.
craziness. It's so
Yeah.
weird.
I watched a little bit of that. That wasn't as good as I thought it was gonna be.
No,
The
I was
Killer
like,
Show. I was like, huh.
what year is this? I remember them. They had a big song in like 15 years ago.
For a
It's
minute
just
I was
weird.
like, is that the lead singer of the Killers? Because he looks like he's 17 years old. And that song came out like 10 years ago. Like, that guy just doesn't age at all. Did he not look like a
Song came out
child?
in like 2004, but
Okay,
okay.
so 15 years ago.
Yeah. He looked like a mannequin. They all looked like mannequins. I was like, what is happening right now?
They
We're
didn't
in
do
Vegas?
they didn't do that song justice at all. I watched a little bit of it. I was like, yeah, it was kind of crappy.
Yeah, for a non-football fan, you sure do see a lot of shit. You see fucking Pete Carroll, you see the
Oh,
Killers.
me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, my
Um,
girlfriend's more of a football
yeah.
fan than I am.
Well, rock and roll. So, God, I social dilemmaed myself.
Uh
So there's this documentary called The Social Dilemma that you should probably watch. It's on Netflix, and it's the first time a documentary is going to be the #1 movie on Netflix in a month for the month of September. And here's my review in 5 words of The Social Dilemma. We are all going to die. Oh my God.
Okay.
Fucking, I was so optimistic about the planet, and now I am not optimistic at all. So in the documentary, here's some people that they had for interviews. They had the former Google ethicist. They had a former Twitter executive, former Instagram employee, former Google design consultant, former YouTube engineer, former director of corporate PR at Apple, former president of Pinterest, former VP of engineering at Twitter. They had Jaron Lanier, who is known as the founding father of virtual reality, and many, many more people. And I mean, in short, it's all just about your phone is taking over your life, and it's the #1 addiction, and it's changing your views and your perceptions and your morals and stuff slowly without you even realizing it. And it was the biggest panic attack of all time. It was insane. I laughed, I cried, I freaked out, I got angry, I was surprised. It was insane. I saw some familiar faces. Oh, I recognize that guy. Here's some things I learned about in this documentary. I learned about Snapchat dysmorphia. Oh, my fucking dude, my Snapchat.
dysmorphia.
Oh, I don't feel so good today, and my fucking Snapchat dysmorphia is just acting up big time today. I learned about growth.
Dysmorphia, like, dysmorphia is what, like, all the transgender people were going through, right? Like, fucking, what does dysmorphia mean? Doesn't that mean, like,
It's where you have like an alternate perception of yourself, like body
Yeah.
dysmorphia.
okay, so what is fucking Snapchat? What does that even mean?
Snapchat dysmorphia is like, so all these young girls it's pretty popular for them to get plastic surgeries right now, and they're getting the surgeries in order to match the filter of Instagram or
Because
Snapchat.
they think in their mind that is who they are, and then their body doesn't match their online profile, and then they
So
get
it's
all
pretty
fucking-
it's pretty popular cosmetic surgeries where they're like, here, make me look like this filter. You know, it's because they have Snapchat dysmorphia. Oh yeah, I'm feeling pretty good today. Actually, my Snapchat dysmorphia it's not too bad today. I learned about growth hacking. I learned about surveillance capitalism. I learned about the pleasure-pain balance. Oof, that pleasure-pain balance. Oof, that is
sounds
a
like
fucking...
we're on a porn site or something like that. I'm liking it.
I learned about dopamine deficit states. I learned about the attention attraction model. I learned about positive intermittent reinforcement in software, which is used primarily in social media and slot machines. I learned that if you aren't paying for the product, you are the product. Oh, fuck, dude. Fuck! It was insanity.
What the fuck does that even mean?
If you aren't paying for do you pay for Facebook?
No.
No. Then you're the
Then
product.
Then I'm the product.
You're the product. Oh, fuck, dude. I learned that they don't, because you think they monitor, like, they monitor, I guess, what websites I go to. It's like, yeah, that's adorable. They monitor, like, if you're scrolling down through Instagram and you stop on a picture and you don't engage with the picture, they monitor how long you look at the picture. So
Yeah.
they know the profiles that you go to, even if you don't engage, and how long, like to the thousandths of the second, you view each thing. And this is all being stored in computers that are in facilities underwater, under land, that are not being monitored by humans. And it's all just being stored so they can create your profile of you, and they know everything about you. They know who you dated, how long you dated them. They know when you're depressed. They know if you slacked off at work today. They know if you were productive at work today. They know everything. It
Boom.
was I got social dilemmaed. It was insane.
I
And I know
told you to.
some listeners have watched it, but people should watch it because in the middle of watching it, I was just like panicking, and then I looked down at my phone and I almost just puked all over my phone, and I was just like, I am so sick right now, not only for myself but for my loved ones and friends that use social media. I'm like, this is all super fucked. And then the scene of the young girl looking in the mirror, where it's talking about the statistics of suicide in young girls, and how it shows the graph going along the 2000s, where it's like level 2001, 2002, 2003, 2000 level, and then 2011, boom, jacks through the fucking ceiling. And I'm like, oh my fucking god. And then it's talking about the computer processing power that we've had, and it's showing the graph going like this across. And then as soon as like the last couple years hit, the computer processing power that we developed, it's going up. It's going straight on the graph, all up, 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 more and more and more and more. And I'm like, oh my fucking god. I'm like, this is not a thing of we need to fight back against this. No, the battle's already over. The battle was lost 10 years ago. It's over. It's completely over. It was
Yeah.
insane. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Oh
like
my
I've been
god.
saying, fucking delete your Facebook. It's garbage. It's all garbage.
It's so crazy. And it's like,
Y-
and they do things like he has, usually at 3 o'clock on Tuesday in March, he is active on Instagram. Why isn't he active right now? We need to get him to get back on Instagram right now, because usually in this hour of the day, he's on there. So let's send him a notification. Bing! Just so-and-so posted a picture. Boom. Okay, that got him back. Now he's on Instagram because he wanted to clear that notification, or he wanted to click on it, or we'll say someone tagged him in a photo or whatever. Then, now that he's back on, now we can throw an ad at him and stuff like that. It's like, holy fucking shit, dude. It's
Boom.
crazy.
Yeah. One thing. I mean,
Is
I
good.
get what you're saying, and this
And
is
all these
kind of
people that formerly worked in the industry, they're like, yeah, we did this to completely manipulate and control people. Like, we coders and shit at Google, engineers, we don't take engineering classes anymore. We take psychology classes, like, at the highest level, in order to understand, like, the background of that app isn't blue because we think it's pretty. Like, there's reasoning behind all of it. It's crazy.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's fucking
I get what
insane.
you're saying, and this is like kind of off topic, but it irritates the shit out of me. So what you were saying about like how long you sit on a post, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It like so on TikTok, that's I was reading about like how you get higher views on TikTok, and a lot of it is it doesn't matter if they like your TikTok or whatever, is if they watch the entirety of your TikTok, it boosts
Yeah.
your TikTok up, and if they rewatch it, it like really boosts your fucking it like boosts it in the algorithm and gets pushed out to more fucking people. So this fucking
Whoa.
thing people are doing, which it's kind of slowed down a little bit, but a bunch of people like understood that or are starting to understand that. So they would do
Oh.
these fucking videos. They're so irritating. And like it would be like a dude like walking through the woods or something like that. And it would that's all the fucking video would be is like 30 seconds of a guy like walking down a path and he's like not
Uh-huh.
even saying anything. And then like the tag would be like, "Did you even just see that?" You know what I mean? So then
Yeah.
people would like watch the fucking video and be like, "What?" And then they'd
Yeah.
rewatch it like, "What am I missing in this video?" And then they'd get someone to watch the fucking video 3 times trying to figure
Yeah.
out what the fuck is on it. Once I like understood that, I'm like, "You fucking pieces of shit." I want to go punch those people in the face like, "You're a real asshole." Real asshole. Yeah, we're all
It's
going to
crazy.
die. I mean, it's
Oh yeah.
over. It's
And everyone
over.
thinks everyone has the oh what we're gonna die when AI takes over. It's like, bro, that happened 10 years ago. It's over. It is done. It is done.
Yeah.
Good night. We had a great run. We had a
Yeah.
fucking great fucking run. We had a run for the ages, but I couldn't be optimistic after watching that. That was a fucking panic attack.
Yeah.
It's crazy. You're looking at me. Are you looking? Where are you looking right now?
I'm looking at you.
Where's the other fucking camera?
I got
You
a
have two cameras up
camera
there?
here and a
Oh,
camera
okay.
right there.
Sorry, we have added more cameras.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
we're going big
Sorry.
time. We're going big time.
Yeah. Yeah. Here's what I think. I think we need a third person to do production shit. And I
Well,
want it to
yeah.
be someone that I can boss around and that I can yell at and treat terribly.
That would be perfect. Really, we just need to start making money off this thing. We need to boost our views so that we can quit our
Jesus.
jobs and go do this full time. That would be
Oh my god.
that would be the deal. That'd be the funniest goddamn thing ever.
Yeah.
This would be a lot better if we were in the same location. God damn it, would it be better? You know what I mean?
guess, yeah. Yeah.
But we wouldn't have to be doing. Okay, let's do a little behind the scenes real quick. If
Please.
you're watching this, so we're doing something brand new this episode. We're pushing the boundaries of our abilities.
Yeah.
If you're watching a YouTube video right now and we look like shit, we failed at what we were trying to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
So if you're looking at me right now and you can see out the side over here or over here that I got carpet back here and you see this bullshit like why the fuck why did he not frame his camera right? You know
Right.
what I mean? If you're looking at
Yeah.
me and you're like, this kid's a fucking retard.
Yeah,
Like,
they're getting
no,
worse. They're getting worse. They're
Yeah.
getting so much worse.
it's because we failed. We're trying to improve the quality, not, bring it back down to, 720. So we're shooting
Yeah.
for the stars right now. If it works out, you're looking at a much better picture and you're like, I
Right.
don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Shit's fucking awesome right now.
Right.
So, and that's why I'm saying it'd be better if we were in the same location as far as filming things. It's
It'd be
kind
so
of a pain
easy.
in the ass doing fucking all this Zoom shit. Yeah.
But we
But-
couldn't have if we were in the same location, we couldn't have the guests we've had. I mean, unless we still had them over Zoom.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I wanted to talk to him a little bit after the show, and we were definitely going to have a conversation after the show. But, what we might as well get, this is kind of on par, and I'm not trying to make you mad, but let's
God.
get some fucking viewer, our fan base. Like, what do you guys think? Let me know. Brad talks to the fans more than I do.
Fans talk to
Fucking-
me, and they're not fans; they're listeners or whatever.
Listeners. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
they're not fans. They're just like, we are obligated to do this. No, what I'm getting at is, how do you guys like the show the way it's set up? Like, you know what I mean? Like, and then the guest thing. Like, because I'm weird about, I don't know. Do you guys think it's better when we do it alone? Where is it? Where do we shine and where do we fail? In your opinion. Like, let me have it. Like, I would like to hear what you guys think. Because I'm
That's a
starting
good
to form,
question.
I'm starting to form some opinions about how
Yeah.
things are, the way what's good and what's not good.
Yeah.
So yeah, let us know. Please write us and let me know.
ErickandBradshow@gmail.com.
Erick and Bradshaw at gmail.com.
Yeah, because I do have some shows that have guests sometimes, and then don't have guests sometimes, and sometimes I've just only liked the ones where there's no guest. I don't know. So
Yeah.
I'm
That's-
curious too.
Yeah, let's see what you say. When I was building up to that question, your face looked real worried. You're like, what are you about to say right now?
Yeah, well, I don't like when people are like, we need to talk.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
oh
I don't
my
like that
God.
either, but I get what you're saying. That is a
Yeah.
scary feeling when someone throws that at you, like, hey, we need to talk real quick. It's like, especially if it's like a boss, you're like,
Yeah.
fuck.
Especially if it's like in the evening, and it's like, hey, tomorrow we need to talk. We need to have a meeting. It's like,
Oh, and then you'll set up
Fuck.
all night, like, no.
Yeah.
We need to talk about this right now.
yeah,
'Cause I'm
tell
gonna
me
freak
5
the
minutes,
fuck out.
5 minutes before, not the day before. Fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or when they do what I just did, is like, hey, we need to talk. I'm fucking horrible about this. Like,
Yeah.
then I'll say like all this, fucking, you know, build up shit, all this like preamble
Right.
shit before I
Right.
get to the topic. So, and I hate when people do that, and I do it real, you know what I mean? And I'm like, what are you saying right now? Just fucking spit it out. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, what? How bad are we gonna get here?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Let's go over some more just bam bam shit. Your
Yeah.
um, did you hear that the cereals are going back to the '80s flavors? Four different cereals. General
What does
Mills.
that mean?
So back in the '80s, they switched a bunch of cereal brands to like get away from the artificial shit. They're trying to make it more healthy. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So they've like slowly changed all these the ingredients in the cereal, and so the taste of certain cereals have changed. Just like soda pop and stuff like that.
Okay.
Over the years. And then I guess I think what they're bitching about is they're losing like
Wait. So since the 80s, have they gotten more healthy or less healthy?
more healthy.
So they're going back to less
From
healthy?
what I understand, yes, they're
Is there
going
still
back
going to
to.
be Lucky Charms?
Okay, so here's the brands. It's General Mills, and the the cereals in question is Trix, Golden Grams, Cookie Crisp, and Cocoa Puffs are returning
Okay.
to the '80s taste. And supposedly this all has to do with, I think their like numbers are down for cereal consumption, and
Hmm.
so they're trying to bring people back. And so they're like, fuck it, let's fucking go back to the shit, the old school shit. No one even cares about their health anymore. You know what I mean? We're all fat, fucking, let's just go with the old shit. So they're bringing it back. They're bringing it back.
I only like Lucky Charms.
I hate.
They had Cookie Crisp in the 80s?
I don't even know what Cookie Crisp is. So
Was that on that list?
yeah, it was, and
Oh.
I'm seeing the edge of a picture right now with a little wolf or something like that eating cookies. I don't
Yeah.
think I've ever had that cereal before. I've had out of
Not
all
bad.
those, I actually don't really like any of those. Like
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe Trix Cocoa Puffs. I don't know, but I've heard. Have you not heard that? I've
Cocoa
heard the
Puffs are
Trix
good.
thing before. I've heard people say Trix was different back in the day. You know what I mean?
Huh.
And I think with the Trix one, they're actually changing the what they look like. Like they've changed over the years what the actual Trix look like, and now they're going full old school, exactly how it was in the '80s.
Nostalgia.
Nostalgia, yeah. Trying to
Fuck.
bring the millennials back. Bring them back to Trix.
I don't eat that much cereal,
I don't
but I
either.
buy it. I buy
You
it
do?
and then it just sits there. Yeah.
Well, I do. I can't. I shouldn't say that, but I don't eat cereal like that. My shit's Post. Fuck. What's that shit called? Like the almond.
Bran
You know
flakes.
what?
What?
Like
uh,
the
I
Post
don't
with the
know.
almonds and granola. What the fucking?
Oh yeah.
I want to say honey bunches of oats. Is that right? Yeah,
I don't know.
honey
Is
bunches
it?
of oats. That's the
That's like
shit.
grandma cereal, isn't it?
That's my jam. Fucking that shit's good. What's
You
your
need some
go?
fucking. Oh yeah, honey bunches of oats. That's good shit.
That shit's bomb. That's the best cereal there is. That's the only
You
cereal I
want to
get
bring
down on.
people back? You gotta lower the goddamn fucking price. It's fucking $4.50 at Target.
That's bananas. For
That's too
Post?
much money.
Yeah, Post is always more expensive than all the fucking other ones. It is irritating. But they know what they got. They've cornered a market on taste. You roll your eyes all you want.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Do people still eat cereal? Oh my god.
What are you looking at? What
Oh,
numbers are you
never
looking
mind.
at? What are you looking up here?
It said $6, but it was like a bar, not a cereal. Dollar General.
Ah, you're not I guess I really don't care. But I figured some people might fucking be a little nostalgic about that. Like, oh yeah, Trix used to be the shit.
You know what's crazy? So here's what happened. All right. About a year ago, there's this service that was being launched. It was called Disney Plus. Okay.
Okay.
Wait. Yeah. I was thinking it was about a year ago. And I was like, that's stupid. I'm not going to get that. I don't like Disney, really, I guess. I don't know. But then I found out, our listener Chris let me know that if you have Verizon, you got a year free. So I was like, oh,
Huh.
shit.
Did not know that.
I guess I'll do that. So I have since canceled. I just canceled it like a month ago because my plan was I'll get the year free and then I'll cancel it before the year's over. And I did it perfectly. But I think I had that weekend off. So when Disney Plus came out and I downloaded it on my Xbox and I looked through the shows on there, it was Nostalgia City. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God. I get to watch all these shows, Recess, Boy Meets World, and I was like, this is great. Mighty Ducks or whatever. And when I started watching some of these old shows, I literally just jumped in for like 10 minutes just for the nostalgia fix, just Chase the Dragon. I was like, I really would love cereal right now. For some reason, I was like, I'm craving cereal watching all these old kids shows that I used to watch when I was a little kid. So then I went to Walmart and bought a bunch of cereal and spent the weekend watching Disney Plus and eating cereal. But since then, I haven't really ate cereal a lot. I think it's like a stoner thing, cereal.
Yeah. Or a lazy
I don't
person thing. You know what I mean?
I
It's like
guess
when
it's
you're-
still, for me, it's like I'm still creating a dish. I'm still creating like a dish that I need to clean, so I'm not even going to eat it. So that's even more lazy.
I probably would eat more cereal, but I'm not big on milk. I don't know what it is. I feel weird ingesting milk.
Yeah, it's nasty.
It's not
no
nasty.
good.
It's just I don't know. It's weird. Doesn't sit
Well,
well
like-
with anything. You know what I mean? It's just
It's
milk.
like-
It's like ready.
Yeah,
It's-
and when I'm trying to consume milk, I'm trying to avoid the straight milk. So it's like I'll eat the cereal with it, but I'm not just drinking. I'm not just consuming straight milk. I don't know.
yeah.
But that's the cereal for me is just pretty much a nostalgia thing, I guess, and it's just a stoner thing. I've done the thing before where I got the big plastic Tupperware bowl, like a big one, and just dumped like half a box
Get
of
outta
cereal
here.
in there.
Get out of here.
And just have this giant bowl, like huge bowl, and just fucking ate that. But good luck, General Mills. I wish you the best.
Okay, next little bit of fucking news.
Okay, yeah.
Next little bit of news. I don't know if we talked about this on the show or someone just told me about this. I heard about it like a month ago and then it came back up.
Uh-oh.
Michelob Ultra, the beer brand. I don't know if you've heard about this, but they are fucking looking for a chief exploration
Oh,
officer.
yeah. I did hear about that.
CEO, and you can get paid $50,000 to go around to national parks and just drink beer, and all expenses paid. I think you get a
And all
van,
the beer's free.
and all the beer's fucking free. Fucking,
Wait, why national parks?
I don't understand the. I think it all has to do with it's all like a social media thing. They want you to be like
Ugh.
on social media and promoting their beer. You know, just more social media shit. More social media shit. I don't know, but it does sound like a fucking cool gig. 50 grand, and it's only 6 months. I think that's what it said is 6 months. So that's
So you
know
get
you're
50
on
grand
track
for 6 months.
You're on track for 100,000 a year. That's good fucking money.
Yeah.
Fucking, that's great, and you don't have to pay for beer. That's a huge expense right there. Fucking, and you can live off beer. You know, if you're the right fucking person, you don't even have to eat. You can just drink beer. You can just drink beer for 6 months, and you'll be fine. Did you know you can do that? You can drink beer.
I've heard people tried it and that it didn't work out. They thought their thought process was, well, there's water in it, but then it didn't work.
Well, I think you still have to drink water, but you don't have to
okay.
eat food. There's enough
Oh.
like calories and shit in beer that you
Right.
can get by with just drinking beer.
It sounds terrible.
It does sound terrible or awesome, depends on who you are.
Right. Yeah. I did hear that. That's a fucking interesting job.
What
They're
if?
hiring.
How much you want to bet that this person gets a DUI?
Yeah, it could go horribly wrong, but I don't know. They're probably gonna find some mo who fucking drinks. Who's just gonna drink one a day, you know, not
Yeah.
turn it into some Burt Kreischer
Yeah,
fucking
I'm
trying to
sure.
go for the record.
What's funny is it's this totally sounds like something that like a Sierra Nevada drinker would be all about. Like a
Yeah,
Michelob Ultra person is fucking,
yeah.
he's got a beer belly. He's fucking, construction worker gets off work, cracks a beer.
Oh,
Like they're trying to mesh like two different fucking worlds here.
right.
Not
Yeah, so I did hear about that. I heard about that while listening to Sirius XM radio, which I I know that I'm like the last of three people who listen to Sirius XM, but I do because I pay for it. I pay $30 a month for two vehicles.
that's a
So
strong flex right there. You're flexing hard.
I'm not trying to. It's so fucking crazy though because it's like when I listen to the like the alternative station. They'll be like, the DJs on there will be like, yo, hey, what's up, bro? Hey, bro. Hey, what's up, everybody? Like this, welcome to Alt Nation. This is Alt Nation. You're home for the greatest alt hits. And every once in a while, a great smoked queso recipe. And you're like, oh my God. And then you go to like the heavy metal station, and the guy's like, "Hey, what's up, motherfuckers? God,
Yeah.
I was just outside smoking a cigarette, and fuck." And you're like, "Oh my God!" And he's like, "What's up, all you assholes? God, I'm such a fucking douchebag." And you're like, "Oh, can these people just act anymore?" And
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just noticed that going station to station, like the greatest alt hits, man, and sometimes some great smoked queso recipes. And I'm like, oh my God, just play the fucking music.
Yeah, dude,
Jesus
in
Christ.
2007, that was my favorite fucking station ever. I love that
Alt
shit. I
Nation?
I did have yeah, Alt Nation was my shit. 2007, 2008, 2009, somewhere in there. Fucking that's when the alternative was fucking so goddamn good and that station was so goddamn good.
Yeah.
That was a very that is a nostalgic part of my life. I fucking look back that radio station. Oh my
Oh,
god, it was so good.
Jesus.
But the problem with Sirius, and I mean it's the problem with any radio really ever, is fucking you really notice it with Sirius stations is if you listen to the station over and over again, all they have is like 100 songs that they just play on repeat
Yeah,
over and over and over and over again. And if
I
you
know.
listen to it for a week, you're like, dude, are you fucking kidding me? Like,
Yeah,
or if you listen to it for 10 hours, you're like, I've
yeah,
heard this song 3 times today. Like, what are
I
we
know.
doing right now? What is happening?
It's true. Because there's like A songs, B songs, C songs, and D songs. A songs need to be played like once an hour. B
Yeah.
songs need to be played like 4 times a day. Then like D songs are played like a couple times a week maybe. And it's like they have no choice outside of that. They're like handed that, and they just
Yeah, they
make the
have to do that.
playlist.
That's
Yeah,
what I will say. I don't listen to it anymore, but I will give mad props because radio is the same fucking way. You know what I mean? Any radio station, any
yeah,
rock station, especially rock stations. I fucking want to shoot myself when I hear a rock station. I can't
yeah,
stand it. It's like Metallica, "For Whom the Bell Tolls," comes on every 2 hours on every
yeah.
rock station across the country, and
It's
it's just like,
crazy.
dude, I can't listen to the song anymore. I
I
can't.
know.
I just can't do "For Whom the Bell Tolls." Fucking shoot me in the face. But I
Yeah,
will say, once in a while, you come across those. I didn't like it as a kid, younger, but as I got older, I really appreciated, the Spokane station, 95.3. There's some stations out there that do it better. They don't have
yeah,
that A list, B list, C list thing. And yes,
yeah,
they do have that, but they're
yeah,
like their whole plethora of music that they choose from is obviously way bigger. You know what I mean? Like fucking, you're not
yeah,
hearing the same fucking song over and over again. They still do the hit thing. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But it's spread out. It's not fucking every 2 hours. It's like twice a day.
It's look, and I do jump around to a lot of different things. I'll listen to a fucking podcast from 10 years ago, then I'll listen to Sirius, then I'll go on Spotify and listen to what I want. Because it's like, look, with the Sirius thing, when you're your company truck for 5 hours a day, like forever, you kind of run out of shit. So you're like, sometimes I just want to just be able to put it on something and then just not have to worry about it anymore and just
Yeah.
let some music play. You know, that's not a Spotify playlist. So it comes in handy. I know it's only me and one truck driver and then some old lady who forgets she pays for it, and we're the only ones left. I get that. But it's like, I do enjoy it sometimes.
Yeah,
But I don't
well,
enjoy the fucking
and
DJs.
then the streaming services are the same fucking thing. Pandora is the same goddamn thing. If you fucking listen to that station, whatever you pick, it's
Yeah.
gonna be the same bullshit. It's just gonna be 150 songs that are
Yeah.
grouped with that song, and that's all you're gonna fucking get. And it's like, god
Yeah.
damn it. So you have to like build your shuffle massive so that you can actually play 3 days worth of music without fucking having
Right.
a goddamn
Right, repeat. I know. Fucking California Girls by Katy Perry. Every fucking 20 songs.
Yeah.
Jesus
yeah.
Christ.
I know,
Yeah.
fucking. I know it's irritating. It's irritating.
It is.
Why can't I just put on a Taylor Swift fucking station and not hear Roar every hour? Like fucking Jesus Christ.
First world problems.
First world problems. Okay, next one. Next one. I'm just gonna rattle out at you. Fucking. Sorry if I'm just taking over and not letting you get to your topics. But this
good.
one
I don't have
I'm
anything
actually
left.
really excited about. And
Okay.
I fucking wish, like, why can't we be bringing in Joe Rogan numbers? Because I want some fucking money because I would love to have this in my life. If I was rich, and if I do get, $1 million fucking rich, I'm going to be
Okay.
too late. I'm going to be way too late to this fucking train because I can't remember the date, but it's in a few weeks, I think, that this takes, October 6th. October 6th is the auction. And fuck, if you can come up with $6 to $8 million by October 6th, fucking Jesus Christ, this would be cool as shit. But not only are you gonna need the $6 to $8 million, you're gonna need at least another $1 million to figure out how you're gonna house this fucking thing.
House
But
what?
I'm getting to it. Calm
Okay.
down, Jesus Christ. I know you're gonna be excited. I know, but this is a big fucking deal. I'm building it up because it deserves to get built up. Because this would be the coolest fucking thing ever. So, on October 6th, the 20th Century Evening Sale takes place at the New York... I don't know where it's at. It's at some fucking museum in New York. But they're selling Stan. Stan is a 13-foot tall, 40-foot long, 188 bone Tyrannosaurus Rex that's going up on auction that you can buy. And that would be the coolest shit on the planet. I would love to have a T-Rex. Would that not be cool? A fucking
be crazy.
T-Rex? Be bad as fuck.
His name's Stan?
His name's Stan. And he's I believe, the most put together T-Rex in the world. Like there's the most bones
Yeah.
put together. And they have all this crazy shit. I was reading about it, and it's like,
That's terrifying.
How do you guys know all that shit? They said at some point in his life he broke his neck, and and then something about his skull was punctured at one point. And I was
Oh
like,
my
man,
god.
Paleontology is like super interesting to me. It's like, how do they know that that bone just didn't get fucking, dug out by a woodpecker or something like that? You know what I mean? Like fucking.
Oh yeah. After he was dead?
Yeah, it's like, man, it's just how do they?
What the fuck's gonna puncture his fucking skull?
They
He must
said
have fell.
their theory was another T-Rex. He was in a fight with another T-Rex.
Dude, I
inside
can't
time.
even. That's not even real. I don't even believe that dinosaurs existed. It sounds too crazy to me.
You
Two
shut your mouth.
T-Rexes fighting.
Shut your fucking mouth.
Two T-Rexes fought each other. I don't know if that ever. How could that ever happen?
The
That's
fuck are
crazy.
you talking about?
That just sounds like fucking. That sounds like some Lord of the Rings shit.
I'm real upset because I want it. I want it bad. I want it real bad.
That'd be terrifying.
I
When
would
I-
love.
Every morning when I wake up at 2:30 to wander around my house for half an hour before I go back to sleep, and I have to, I'm staring at this thing that I put like track lighting on, from the ceiling, and he's just like in my living room, and it's like holy shit. And then you're half asleep, so you look away, and then you fucking felt like whoa, dude, like he moved or something.
Dude, did he just move? He fucking moved.
Yeah. That's terrifying.
I think it'd be cool as shit. I want him. I want him bad. I would love that shit. That'd be so cool.
Yeah, no, I wonder who buys them.
Yeah. If I
Someone
was
with
Joe
too much
Rogan,
money.
that would be in the new studio. Fucking goddamn guarantee that'd be in the new studio. I'd love
That'd
that
be
shit.
amazing.
Oh, have you seen? Random. Fucking just going random here. Have you seen the new studio? And have you
Yeah.
seen the whole internet thing blowing up about how fucking? Because he looks like he's in it. It was funny. One of the
Looks
comments
like
I
it's a
thought
green screen.
it does. Well, no, yeah,
Yeah.
it does look like he has a green screen, but the room itself is just weird, fucking looking.
Yeah.
One of the comments I thought was funny was the old studio looks like he's in a Texas bunker, and the new studio looks like he's at a Los Angeles gay club.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't like it as much.
I don't
Hope
like it, and
changes.
the internet across the board does not like it. And then another comment I saw in there that I thought was funny was it was Jamie, bring up the old studio.
Yeah. Yeah, just I saw a comment that was like, it looks like it's a green screen, and I clicked on the video and I was like, yeah, it does look like it's a green screen. That's fucking dumb.
Yeah, their cameras. He obviously like upgraded his cameras because it's like that thing. I don't know what it is. I'm no like camera expert, but have you noticed a lot of TikToks and a lot of new social media videos are coming out kind of looking like that? And I believe it's because of the new iPhone or something like that. Like the new
No.
phones have these like upgraded weird fucking cameras on them, and so videos are like looking different. Like, have you noticed that? Like,
No,
okay,
no.
well I've been.
But I
noticing
noticed
it.
that with his show, but maybe cameras are getting to the point where it's looking more real than real.
Then
life.
it's more in depth than yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Well, they already are
That's
picking up
crazy.
more than like we can with our eyes. Have you ever noticed
I
like
hate this.
you
Yeah.
what? Okay.
Just
Have you ever like
technology.
taken a picture of something? You know what I mean? And like yeah, you compare that picture to what you're looking at. You're like I'm seeing shit more crisp and clear. But then on that picture, it's already taken. It's already like a digital thing. It's not looking at
Uh-huh.
anything anymore. You can like zoom in and then read a sign that's a fucking like, a
Yeah.
quarter mile away that you can't actually see, but the fucking
Yeah.
picture is picking it up perfectly. And it's like, well, fuck. It's obviously seeing more detail than that I can
Yeah.
get. I
You
need
just
a pair
need to
of
replace
binoculars
our
to see
eyes
that.
with cameras.
Yes, yes. I'm into it.
I'm just gonna get rid of my phone.
Dude,
And
I'm-
I was thinking, I'm like, can we do a show where, like, an underground podcast, where if you want to subscribe to the podcast, you have to pay a small fee, but we're only going to do like one show a month, and we'll put the show on discs, on CDs, and we'll ship them out in the mail, and then you receive it in the mail, and it's just one episode of the show, but it's like an underground podcast. It doesn't exist anywhere on the internet. If that happened, I would probably pay for that because I think that'd be kind of cool. What you would talk about, I don't know. You just talk about the new Batman movie or something, but because I don't know. I was just thinking about that today. Do a
Boom.
show not on the internet.
Okay, so yeah, we gotta stop because our guest is here. So we
'Kay.
gotta take a break. I'm gonna stop
Be
the
right back.
recording. Rock and roll, guys, and we are back. With us this week, we have I hope I don't butcher this. Jeff Leisawitz. Leisawitz, is that correct?
It's a slight butchering, but I'll go with it. Jeff Leisawitz.
Leisawitz.
Yes.
Sorry about that. Jeff
That's all right.
Leisawitz is an author, a critically acclaimed author of Not Fucking Around, the no bullshit guide to getting your creative dreams off the ground. He's an award-winning musician, producer, critically acclaimed author, internationally distributed filmmaker, and has devoted his life to inspiring others to access their creativity. That about right?
That's the nutshell.
That's the nutshell. Rock and
Yeah.
roll.
Yeah.
So let's get to know you a little bit. What do you do?
Well, I do all kinds of stuff. As you sort of said in there, I've had a long history with music, starting when I was a kid and got, enamored and sort of blown away by, popular music, rock music, all that kind of stuff. So I've played in bands. I've done a ton of music for film and TV, made albums, producer. I'm also a writer. So when I moved to Seattle in the 90s, I managed to get a job at a big radio station. It was actually the radio station that broke grunge music to the world.
Wow.
Okay, KNDD 107.7 the end. And at that time, I went in there to be an intern because I just got out of college. And they figured out that I was a writer. I'd done music journalism before. And they're like, have you ever heard of this thing called a website? And I'm like, a little. Right? I ended up writing the website for KNDD solely, making it at that time the biggest music website in the world. So I got to interview all these bands, this and that. So anyway, so that was part of my journey. Now I teach songwriting at a college up here at PLU near Tacoma. Produce records, make my own stuff. I'm an artist. I've had actually 1 million spins on one of my albums. It's my band's called Electron Love Theory. So I made an album of electronic cover versions of U2 songs. I've always loved U2, like really love that band. That thing's at 1 million freaking plays. Amazing.
Hell yeah.
So so there's all that kind of stuff. And then, as a writer, wrote the book, screenwriter, director, and then I also am a creativity coach. So it's kind of like a life coach for creatives. So, if you're struggling to get your act together or you just can't finish that album or that book, I've kind of been through this thing about 1 million times with some big wins and about 1 million failures.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you as far as creativity, I'm assuming you lean real heavy on the music side of it? Or do you enjoy doing...
I love music. I mean, it's like, which is your favorite kid, that kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
I love music and I burn with music so much, listening to it and making it. And then, this summer, I had some extra time and I'm like, I'm going to write a screenplay. And I got completely enamored and fascinated and, remembered how much I love that in a different way. Apples and oranges, right? You can't rock with a screenplay, but you can't develop ideas as much in a song.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you, can you explain kind of, because I hear that word thrown out a lot. What exactly is a screenplay?
Yeah. A screenplay is sort of a blueprint for a movie or TV show or some kind of video production. So it's essentially, it comes down to the action, what is actually happening, Jeff turns on the Zoom camera, right? Just like completely straight, no frills. And then it's the dialogue. And that's really all it is. And that just gives the director and the actors the blueprint, and they figure out the camera angles, they figure out how to say the lines, all that kind of stuff, where the explosions go, all that kind of thing.
Heck yeah.
Right, because I hear you can have a good screenplay and then you get a bad movie out of it, or you can have those screenplays that people read and they're like, oh, this is perfect, this is a legendary screenplay and stuff like that.
Yeah, it is. I mean, making.
So I guess even when there's a screenplay, there's still room for a adaptation after that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So when you think about how a movie is made, there are sometimes hundreds, maybe even thousands of people involved if it's some big Hollywood special effects thing. And it goes from the writer's brain to the paper, right? That's the very first step. That's the blueprint. After that, anything goes, because you've got everything from the actors, which are obviously huge, and the director, to what do the sets look like, and what are the costumes, and what are the camera angles, and how do they edit it, and where does the music go? I mean, there's 1 million factors that go into that 1.5-hour movie, and the screenwriter only controls one of them. And it's a very important one, but it's only one.
So, and just looking online a bit, you talk about failure a lot, and I wanted to sort of throw it out there that, for creative people, they'll probably relate to this a lot. A lot of times, even with this show, after the show's done, I'm not always completely satisfied with it. and that feeling kind of dwells with me, like, oh, it could have been so much better, stuff like that. And then I think, as the days to follow, I'm like, why do I do this to myself? It'd be so much easier if I just didn't do it at all. Like the people out there that aren't creatives creating stuff, I feel like they have it super easy, and the people who are creating are, have to deal with being unsatisfied a lot. And are we just kind of like chasing that feeling of when you're actually really satisfied with something you created? I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. So first of all, I would say that the people who are not creative have different struggles,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
People who are creative and have any degree of ambition, whether it's commercially or creatively, should have that feeling of how can I make this better, right? It is not helpful to say, oh, I suck, right? That's part of reinforcing an identity of yourself, which is not helpful, right? What is helpful is, hey, I made this radio show, and when I listen back to it, here are the errors. Here are the things that I think could be better, right? Think about it, deconstruct it, and then next time, work on those pieces, right? Life and any creative project is an iterative process. You're always moving, hopefully, moving forward, making it better. So here's a classic story with U2, the band. Recently, last year or two, I heard this interview with Bono. And he says, our first 3 albums sucked. And I'm like, what? Like, how could you possibly think that? First of all, it blew my heart out and millions of other people, right? It launched your career for like 40 years or whatever it is, right? How can you see this? But as an artist, for this guy who's been at it for this long, he can look back and he's like, wow, man, we made, either we made mistakes or we weren't fully developed at that time, which is true compared to 40 years later, right? He's obviously got more skills and experience. But the point is, he and the band and everybody involved learned and just got better and better and better. And that's part of why they're still around.
Yeah.
Right.
It seems like you're like the focus is helping people be creative. Do you like working with people who are like square one, or working with people that, are kind of further along, artists or songwriters?
I like working with anybody who is passionate and dedicated, right? Yeah. So if it's somebody who's like, I've never written a book before, but I must write my memoirs, right? I love that because, it's, teaching a baby how to walk kind of thing, right? That's kind of cool. On the other hand, you get somebody who's like, I'm making my 3rd record and I just can't like tap in to get these lyrics right. That's a whole other level. It's a whole other aspect of creativity, right? It's like finer. So I love that too, right? Just all the pieces are great, really. But the big thing is, are you committed? Because I really don't want to work with anybody who's not committed, because that's useless. If they're into it, that's really what matters.
What would you say to someone who has an idea and is just always like too scared to pull a trigger? You know what I mean? Like that square one person, like either like the person who, likes to play guitar but will only do it by themselves. You know what I mean? But
Sure.
is on that teetering fence and is just so scared to like put themselves out.
Yep. So first of all, it's a lot more than what would I say to them. But here's the basic scoop. I have practiced and continue to practice something called NLP. It stands for neuro-linguistic repatterning. Okay, and it's basically a set of tools to hack into your subconscious to untangle various blocks and belief systems that may be holding you back from achieving anything, happiness or playing the guitar or love stuff, or anything, right? So what you have to do, there's always a reason behind human behavior, right? There just is. So there's a
Right.
reason why that guitar player is too scared to play for his friends or put out a song on Spotify or whatever. So what we would do is kind of take a look, assess where this person is, and then kind of go deeper into the unconscious. And in my practice, I use meditations, and we do all kinds of exercises as well as discussions. And we will find, the trigger point or the initial point where something happened, because something always happens that makes this guy, not want to do this. And often, almost always actually, it's subconscious, meaning if I ask him, so why are you scared to play, at the club or something? I'll be like, I don't know, I don't feel like it. You're like, yeah, okay, bullshit.
Yeah.
Right? The reason is when you were 4 years old, you tried to sing a song for your mom and your mom wasn't paying attention or thought it sucked or something.
Right.
Right? And that just goes in there deep, potentially gets reinforced, and then 30 years later, that's what you got.
I played a lot of music. I'm in bands all the time. I'm a guitar player,
Cool.
singer, songwriter, and my theory is like I don't really, I don't know, I don't spend a lot of time, like, I guess, trying to push other people into it. But when I do talk to people that are like creative people or whatever, that to me, I'm like, dude, that step you're making, I like that, being scared to do something. It's like my theory is always is like, dude, do it, because that jump is the best high you're ever gonna get in your life. Those little scary moments, like getting up on stage when you can be so scared, but the more scared you are of something, it's like that. Well, that's what you need to be like. That's the gold spot right there. You know what I mean? Like pushing past that fear that's fucking that's.
Absolutely, totally agree. And I love your term, the gold spot. That's really good. In the life coach biz, we might call that stepping out of the comfort zone, right? We like to be comfortable inside what we know, and that's fine, unless there needs to be more. If you want more, you need to step on that stage. You need to get into that gold spot that should scare you. If it doesn't scare you, it doesn't even count.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then you do it and you take a breath and something happens. You interpret it as positive or negative, and then you step forward from there. And by the way, the comfort zone expands. Once you're scared to death to step on that stage and you do it, the comfort zone expands so that now maybe you're okay to step on that stage. You do it 10 times, you're like, oh yeah, you step on that stage. You do it 1,000 times and you're like, yeah, it's just like, whatever, walking around the block.
I get frustrated with people that I know that like a photographer or a music artist that take too long to put stuff out. And they take thousands of photos, thousands and thousands and thousands, and they don't share any of them. And I'm like, why don't you just commit to like one a day or one a week and like put stuff out more? Or like people who are trying to be artists and they take like years, like a year or more, and it's like I just don't, and that kind of frustrates me. Maybe I just want to see their finished product more because I enjoy it. And to do a podcast, you're talking like weekly or more. Like you got to go. But I don't know. Personally, I get frustrated with them. But maybe it's just sort of different personalities. Maybe they're perfectionists or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So respecting, other people's processes of getting to where they're going is totally legit. Who knows what they're dealing with. But what's really interesting in your story is you're like, I am frustrated with people who don't put stuff out. Thus, I have somehow gotten myself into a situation where I must put something out every week.
Yeah.
Notice what's going on there, right? So that frustration is a projection of, parts of yourself, right?
Oh, yeah.
Which you have then, created a world where you've committed to doing something every week. So that is a huge thumbs up and high five because you're kicking ass, right? You're just doing it. And then you said, well, I'm kind of frustrated with this. It's not as good as I want it to be, but you have to see that you're on the path. Like it's getting better every week. So rock
Yeah, it's
on,
like,
man. Yeah.
yeah, if you put out a picture that you're not satisfied with, then hopefully, yeah, you continue to grow. I just can't relate to that. Just taking thousands and thousands and thousands of pictures. It's like, oh,
Yeah, like
but
along the same path, what like failure is like important, correct? Like, what are your thoughts on failure? Like,
So I have interviewed hundreds of creatives, business types, all kinds of people in my day, successful ones, and in one way or another, they all say the same thing: failure sucks, and it is your best friend. Right? You cannot move forward without failing at least some of the time, and usually most of the time or often.
mm,
Right? The people who are most successful have failed the most. It is literally just the ratio of how it works. The trick is not to identify yourself, right, as a failure. It's not I'm a loser, it's I lost.
mm,
Right? I lost this game, whatever this game is. Right? If it turns into I'm a loser or I'm a failure, that's a self-identifying system, which then pulls your energy way down, because now your reality is I'm a loser, not I lost. See how
right,
different that is?
it's tough.
It is tough, but it's just a hack. It's just the way our
Yeah,
psychological systems work. So, first of all, most people have no idea about how that language and that identification works. So if you're not even conscious of it, you're going to get stuck in it automatically, right? So that's part of
right.
where, the coach comes in. It's like, hey, look, you're not a loser. Yes, you lost, but that's completely different. The best, basketball player or whatever in the world has lost hundreds of
Yeah,
times, has missed thousands of shots, and they're still the best one.
right.
yeah, what do you do after that failure? Like, what's your theory there?
Yeah, the theory is, take a breath. So whatever the failure is, right? Step back from it. Finish it, whatever it is. Take a step back from it, breathe, get away from it for a minute, right? Let it go.
Mm,
Then when your mind and your body, your heart is cleared, take a look at this failure, right? And first of all, don't consider it failure. Consider it feedback. Okay? It's not, I didn't get to my goal. It's like, these are ways in which I can get to my goal. Okay? When you do that, then you can start to process the things that are working and the things that are not working. You want to keep doing the things that are working, and
right.
you want to figure out how to change the things that are not working to be more in your favor. And again, it's an iterative process. So the more you do this whole loop, and the faster you do this whole loop, the faster you will get to your goal. So like your example of the photographer, part of what, maybe drives you crazy and part of what isn't real effective in that strategy is if it takes the guy a month to put out one photo,
Hmm.
there's no feedback loop in there. I mean, there is a feedback loop, but it's a month long instead of
Right.
a day, every day. Right? If he's getting valuable feedback through himself or others every day and paying halfway attention and doing something about it, he's going to be a much better photographer in a month than if he takes all month to pick one.
That's a great point.
What would you recommend for people that are trying, first step trying to get their creativity off the ground?
Well, if they want to, they can call me and have a complimentary session, and I can tell them what's up.
There you go.
Um, but, as ridiculous as this sounds, it is literally just, and Nike sort of made $1 billion on this one. Just do it, right? You just do it. You're scared? Good. You're scared. Do it. Develop your skills. Try, fail, put yourself out, take lessons, learn. But the actual practice of whatever this thing is what needs to happen. You can't study it all day. You can't evaluate it forever. You just
Yeah.
have to do it, put it out, learn, grow, do it again.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much. You want to plug anything where people can find you? If they're in
Yeah,
Seattle,
sure.
I'm assuming you might do something over Zoom or something like that.
Oh yeah, I've got clients all over the world. Um, yeah, so you can go to my website, jeffleisawitz.com. Hopefully you guys can put that in your
Yep,
show
we
notes
will.
or
Oh
something,
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
right? And yeah, I do 15-minute complimentary sessions with anyone who would like that. And I can dig in a little bit more with individuals and see, in that brief time, if it's a good fit, and take it from there.
That's
Rock and roll.
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, man.
Thank you. Thanks a lot for having me.
Yeah. Well, have a good day, man.
Okay, you too. Catch you later.
Okay. Okay, and we're back. Thank you, Jeff. That was nice.
That was good.
Rock and roll. So in, getting kind of prepared for this show, knowing that he, had to do with music and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
I kind of based a few things off of that I figured would be, relative.
Okay.
So we're bringing it back. We're bringing it back. We're bringing it back. We're bringing rock and roll history back.
Oh yay!
Boom.
Woohoo!
You ready for this?
Yeah.
This is more of
Another Aussie story.
This isn't a story. This is more, again, kind of quick shot. Bam, bam, bam.
Okay.
Just a bunch of crap. You know what I mean? So, let's start it out. Sid Vicious. Do you know who this is? He's the bass player for the Sex Pistols.
Okay.
Do you know who he is?
No.
He died real young. Okay. Anyways, he's a bananas character, and he was very addicted to drugs. But the story is, at one point, he used a needle. Dude, I read this over and over and over, and I can't figure out exactly what they mean. But I believe what it is he used a needle that he found in a toilet to shoot up heroin.
Oh God.
Is that not the worst thing ever?
That's the whole story.
Yeah, again, all these things I'm doing are just rapid fire little stories. You know
That's
what I mean?
Fucked
Just like
up.
that is very fucked up. Yeah, and he
Yep.
died obviously of a heroin overdose. If you couldn't guess.
Is he British?
This one, yeah, the Sex Pistols were a British band,
Okay.
part of like British. I don't know if no, I guess that wouldn't be part of the British invasion because the punk thing happened in the 80s.
Yeah, that's not the British invasion.
But there was kind of like a second British invasion of
Second
punk.
wave.
You know, you had the Ramones, the Sex Pistols, the Clash. You know, the Clash is
Yep.
English, right?
Yep.
Whoa,
Second wave.
whoa. Second wave. Okay, this one you might know more. I'd never heard this. And a lot of what I'm throwing at you is like rumors. I'm not 100% of any of these. You know, these are just like stories
Okay.
of
I believe it.
that people think are true. This next one, Tupac. What's Tupac's group called?
Oh
The
my
Outlaws?
God. Yes. Yes.
You've heard this one?
Yeah, I know what you're gonna say. Don't.
Okay.
I'm done with any kind of disrespect on this show. So, just be respectful, please. I actually don't believe this. I actually don't believe this one, but continue.
That they smoked his ashes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You're not happy with this one at all.
I don't believe it, but if that's true, that's pretty fresh.
It says what I read is that their members have confirmed that it's true, but they might just be like blowing smoke.
Yeah.
Did you?
Or ashes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh. Then there's some fucking creepy ones in here, and as I went through all this shit, fucking man, dude, there was a lot of pedophilia throughout rock and roll history.
Oh,
I'll fucking tell you what.
Yeah.
Fucking the Rolling Stones bassist Bill Wyman
Uh-huh.
fell for a 13-year-old girl. Fucking, so that's creepy. There's
Yeah.
a bunch of random ones. What?
It's just very common amongst rock bands.
Which is weird. But
Yeah, it is weird.
I think there's something, I feel like there was just a different, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
about in the 70s, I think there was just a switch to where before that, like being with a fucking 15-year-old girl was just more, you know what I mean? Like it was like acceptable, and then you go back to like the 18, like 1850, it was like you'd be married at 14 having kids.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a weird thing to think about. Charles Manson wrote a song for the Beach Boys. Huh? Huh?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Huh? Huh? Nothing? This one's dumb because everyone knows this one. Ozzy Osbourne bit the head off a bat. That's
yeah.
a dumb one. That's a dumb one. Jerry Lee Lewis. So this is old. We're going old school here. You know who Jerry Lee Lewis is?
Yeah.
Married his 13-year-old cousin. Is that not crazy?
Yeah, that is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Michael Jackson wrote a song for Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Huh?
Yeah, so there's the lyrics from a Rolling Stone song called Stray Cat Blues. And the lyrics go, I don't care that you're 15 years old. I don't want to see no ID. It ain't no hanging matter. Ain't no capital crime.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah.
Meanwhile, a 32-year-old Ted Nugent kicked off the 80s with a hit titled Jailbait. Well, I don't care if you're just 13. You look too good to be true. I just know that you're probably clean. Oh, dude.
Creepy.
Yeah, Jesus.
Creepy. Let's see.
God damn
Ozzy Osbourne snorted ants. I've heard that one before. Have you heard that one?
it. I think so, yeah.
Keith Richards snorted his father's ashes, supposedly.
That's fucking nasty.
That is Narbar. Narbar. This one's cool. I've heard variations of this one. I've heard different stories of this one. Keith Moon, which I believe is from The Who.
Yep.
Yeah, the drummer for The Who. He gave Led Zeppelin their name.
Yeah.
You heard this one?
Mm-hmm.
That the name came about when Jimmy Page, Jeff Beck, and John Paul Jones were discussing forming a band. The conversation happened in earshot of Keith Moon, who said their music would go over like a lead balloon. When the collective decided to commit to the project, they later called Keith Moon's witty offering, and so Led Zeppelin was born.
That's pretty well known.
Yeah, I heard that. I didn't know it was Keith Moon. I hadn't heard the Keith Moon part.
Right.
I thought it was just someone made fun of them and said, your music sucks. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah?
Yeah.
No? Okay. Let's see. Rick James held a fucking woman hostage for 2 days and burned her with a crack pipe. So that's pretty cool.
Jesus.
Yeah. Let's see. I don't even know who this is, but Serge Gainsborough. Do you know who that is? Serge Gainsborough? I don't even know who this is. But supposedly he wrote a song about incest with his daughter, and people were not very happy about it.
What? Why not?
Uh,
Just kidding.
Boy George handcuffed and beat a male escort. He invited a prostitute over and then tied him up and beat him. So yeah, Boy George is a fucking weird son of a bitch. I've never liked that guy's look. He's fucking odd.
Does he sing the Do you really want to hurt me?
I know his famous one is Come a Chameleon.
Well, he can write some jams.
That
That song is probably playing. He's like, da, da,
Yeah. Here's another fucking weird one. Steven Tyler once had a 14-year-old girlfriend, and her parents signed him over to him. Fucking another creeper.
Well, it's Steven Tyler. I mean,
That's weird. Steven Tyler just had a daughter at 75, like 2 years ago. He was
Oh my
like
God.
75. Yeah, isn't that crazy? With like a 24-year-old supermodel or something like that. I don't know. He was on Joe Rogan. I'm like, that is fucking. You're gonna be like 90 when she graduates high school. You fucking weirdo.
he'll be here.
Yeah, he'll be here. Yeah.
Don't
And
wanna
then
miss a
we'll do the
thing.
last one, which is another kind of well-known one. I didn't know until about 2 years ago, but Led Zeppelin in Seattle fucking
Yeah.
had a girl in a hotel room and they banged her with a fish.
Yeah. That's pretty. Yeah. I think we fucking mentioned that before.
Did we? Have we? I don't know.
think
So
so.
that was just rapid fire rock and roll stories. That was kind of what I was going with. Did you like it? Did it get a pass? Did it get a fail?
I liked it.
But it really, the whole gist of it is that rock and roll stars are all pedophiles.
Right.
Really, that's the gist of the
I mean, what are you gonna do? Cancel
just
them?
the rock and roll history.
Are you gonna
You
cancel
just
them?
rename rock and roll history to incest history,
Right.
or not incest, but child, whatever. Yeah.
The price of the average Super Bowl ticket in 1984,
$65.
$60.
Boom, man! I am on it today with my guesses.
The price in 2020, the average price,
$3,000,
$7,000.
$7,000.
The average price of a house in 1984,
$70,000.
$67,021.
Dude, I'm fucking murdering it.
The average price in 2020,
470.
$278,621. You're in your own bubble with the house prices now.
With the
You know what I
80s.
mean?
Well, it was just the 80s. I'm living in the 80s.
Yeah. So 1 year of college at a private college, tuition, fees, room and board in 1984 for 1 year. A private college. I think that just means that like not a
$4,000?
community. $8,450.
Ah.
The average
Now,
price
let's
in
say
2020,
10,000, 15,000,
$35,087.
35,000.
Yeah, you were way off with college prices.
Yeah. Well, you can
the-
see who didn't go to college.
The do you know, so the average price of so at Costco you can get a hot dog and soft drink combo. The average price the price in 1984 was $1.50. You know what it is today?
Wait, dude, I just straight fucking went retarded.
At Costco,
Say that again.
in their whatever they sell food, you can get a hot dog and soda combo.
Oh,
And
okay,
in
yeah,
1984, the price was $1.50.
yeah. You didn't let me guess.
In 1984, the price was $1.50. Do you know what it is today?
You're supposed to let me guess because I'm killing the 1980s ones.
Okay, well, it's
$8.
$1.50.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's been the same price?
Yeah.
Huh. So really what you're saying there is in the 80s they were Jewing people on their hot dog prices.
They were charging too much.
Yeah, they were charging a lot.
Yeah, I get.
They were
well, I
they
don't
were
know.
anticipating inflation fucking,
Right.
40 years in advance.
Yeah, but you get a giant thumbs up for not changing the price. I think that's awesome.
Does that not seem high for 1980?
guess.
$1.50?
Yeah.
That's
They
a
were
lot
probably
of money.
better hot dogs than you get today for $1.50.
We've had some Costco talk before. I'm nervous of, I don't understand how that whole system works. You know what I mean? The food section of Costco. And I don't want to go get in line. Do you ever do that? You want to go do something, but you don't understand the process of it, so you just don't do it altogether? You know what I mean?
Oh,
You go to a store
100%.
and you're like the Apple store. I'm like, what is he? I walk by. I'm like, what is even going on in there? I'm like, I'm not going in. I'm not doing
intimidating.
it because I don't even see a cashier. I don't know what you're doing here. This is weird.
Yeah, it's intimidating.
And so the
Definitely.
same thing at Costco. I fucking walk by and I'm like, what is happening right now? Why do you? There's something on that side. You got to be outside over there and then inside over here. I don't like it. Do you
Right.
pay? Do you pay there? Do you pay here? Do I pay at the? I don't like it. I get scared and then I just walk away. Okay, I'm not doing it. I'll just go to McDonald's. Fuck
Yeah,
this.
I do that. I do that constantly. So, so this week, 3 days ago, there was a resurfaced interaction between Costco's co-founder and CEO that sent Twitter into hysterics and turned the co-founder into an icon. Current Costco president and CEO Craig Jelnick or whatever complained to Costco, to the former guy, about the company losing money from their legendary hot dog meal special. As any real Costco enthusiast knows, the store's deals aren't limited to just the shopping aisles. The meal costs only $1.50, hot dog and soda. Costco hasn't changed the price of the combo since 1984. I said, Jim, we can't sell this hot dog for $1.50. We are losing our rear ends. He said, if you raise the effing hot dog price, I will kill you. Figure it out. This was from 2018.
Jeez, someone is about those hot dogs.
Yeah, instead of changing the price, Costco simply built its own hot dog manufacturing plant in Los Angeles. The company reports that it sells more than 100 million hot dogs every year.
There's a lot of hot dogs. I don't think I've ever had one.
Kirkland?
Have you had?
I think they're Kirkland hot dogs.
Kirkland is their brand.
Yeah.
So have you had a hot dog there?
No, I have not.
I haven't either. Are they bomb? We need to go now. I gotta go. We gotta go check it out. This is
Go check it
now.
out.
I'm interested. Now I'm gonna have to go deal with this fucking line and ask people. You know, ask people
$1.50.
wait in line.
$1.50 is a good deal.
You know, isn't it the worst when dude, I gotta go back to that because now I'm getting worked up about how much I hate that situation. Isn't it the worst when you look at something and then you think you understand how it works, and then you go wait through a line, and then they're like, "What are you doing here?" And you're just like, "I don't know what I'm doing here."
I imagine.
I almost missed.
I imagine someone trying to order at Starbucks who has never ordered there before. It could be pretty confusing.
Dude, okay, prime, the worst situation I've been in this, and I was so fucking mad about it. But I was leaving. I had went to Vegas, and I had spent every goddamn dollar I had. You know what I mean?
Jesus.
I'm on my last stretch of money. It was bad.
Yeah.
It was a bad weekend. Shit got real. And dude, I have my ticket, and I have enough money for a fucking taxi cab to get to the airport. And you know that's a whole thing in Vegas is you'll see people walking to the airport because they're so fucking broke that they can't get a fucking taxi cab. It's a thing. So anyways, I was almost that guy. I'm fucking broke. I'm by myself and just oh my God, what is happening right now? I'm hungover as fuck. I get a taxi cab to the Las Vegas airport. I'm cutting it close on time, and it's nighttime. My flight leaves at 10 o'clock or something like that at night. And so the airport's dying down. You know what I mean? It's not this happening spot like it was in the daytime. But there's still, good amount of people there, but it's not packed. And I go to Spirit Airlines, you know what I mean? And I see I needed to go. I don't know. At this time I was confused how the kiosk things work. I didn't, you know what I mean? I wanted to just go to the line and get them to print a ticket for me so I could get on the airplane. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I go into this line, and there's fucking a shitload of people in this line. And I'm like, what is happening right now? Why? The airport's dead. Why is fucking Spirit Airlines have 30 fucking people waiting in line? You know what I mean? And it's going slow as shit. And so I'm sitting in this line, and sitting in this line, and sitting in this line. Dude, I was in the line and I'm like, dude, I'm going to miss my fucking flight. This is so bad. What the fuck is going on? And I'm waiting in this line and waiting in this line and waiting in this line. And finally, someone, a situation happens, and they start talking. And this lady comes out, and she's like, if you're in this line, this is only for people who their flight was canceled for Houston or some shit like that. And I'm like, fuck. What am I doing in here? And then I'm in the middle of this line and excuse me, and fucking have to get out of this line. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so dumb. I'm such an idiot. You know, that kind of situation where you just assume something's happening. So you just go get in line and but then you're too nervous to start asking people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, what's this line for? You just don't want to talk to anybody, or just leave me alone. You know what I mean? And then you're God, I should have just fucking asked what was going on here. Same thing at Costco. I don't want to go ask these people, and they look angry anyways. I don't want to excuse me, can you explain how this works? You know what I mean?
Oh my God. Yeah.
Am I giving you anxiety? That gives you anxiety, doesn't it?
Kind of. I just can't really remember a time that it's happened to me. But flying's, because it's every time I fly, I feel I forget the process. Okay, what? do they email me the ticket? Like, what am I supposed to
Yeah,
do?
I know exactly what you're saying. Every
'Cause
time
I
I
feel-
fly, I'm like, what do I got to do here? Am
Yeah.
I ready? Am I ready for this?
And I pretty much feel like I fly once a year on average. Just an average of once a year. But every time I forget. I don't know.
Yeah.
There was a
Yeah.
time I was standing on line at Subway, and this was in 2013 maybe, and there's these like Mexican people in front of me, and
Whoa.
that's not a bad thing to say. And they get up to the girl that's going to start to make the sandwich, and she says, "What kind of bread do you want?" And they're looking up and they're looking over and they're looking down, and I'm like, "Oh my God, they have never been here before. They don't know what to do. They don't know." He didn't know how to answer the question, like, "What kind of bread do you want?" And he's like looking up on the menu and shit, and I'm like, "Oh my God, Jesus Christ." But I can relate.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. And like, yeah, some like, especially like sub shops, or like you'll go to like some, like some place you've never been. You'll walk in the door and you're just like, or you'll just walk by and be like, I'm not doing that because I don't even understand. I don't understand what they want. I don't understand what they want from me. And then they're just like, hey, yeah, do you want this? You're like, I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea what I want.
Yeah. They'll be like, white or brown? And you'll be like, neither. And they'll be like, you have to pick one. Oh, white, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
Fucking-
yeah.
Yeah. Craziness.
So, last time, are we good with this topic, or is there more to this topic?
There's no more.
Are we done with Costco? There's no more. We can be done with Costco.
Yeah.
I feel like last time I did this, I didn't do well, and I wasn't prepared, and it didn't go over well, and I was a little upset with myself.
Okay. This is about politics?
But I'm no, not at all. Not at all. I don't beat myself up over that. Y'all go fuck yourself. No, with our guest this week, I was like, well, we'll do rock and roll history because that fucking, that kind of plugs in right there.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I want to do some justice. It's been fucking a hot minute. I think it was like probably 10 episodes ago. But I wanted to do a song. Is that all right? Can we do that?
Sure.
Because I was like, he's a singer-songwriter, blah, blah, blah. I was like, I'll just do a song. Because last time I fucking was mad at the end. I was like, that song I picked was garbage, and the whole thing was fucking garbage. The sound quality was garbage. I was mad about the whole thing. And so I'm coming to do justice to it.
Okay.
Is that all right?
Yeah.
Can we do that?
Yeah.
Do you not like when I do these?
It's okay. But the last time
It's
it
okay.
it did get a little copyright thing.
This one is an original song. This is
'Kay.
There's no way we'll get a fucking copyright thing.
Are we ending with this?
And what? No. Afterwards, I got more. Is that all right?
Okay. Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah. I
Can
got
you hear
nothing
that?
but time.
You can hear that.
Yes.
You can hear that, correct?
Yes.
Okay. This is called Own Personal Hell. It's about Sandpoint.
Sandpoint,
Rock and
Idaho.
roll? About Sandpoint, Idaho. Yep. My fingers hurt a little bit, so we'll get through this.
Well, you look like shit today. Better going off home anyway. A tick-tock clock got you running circles, and your face, it's turning purple. Don't say much about the town you come from. Higby's got not a lot to run from. Don't wanna end up in jail in this town. So I find my own goddamn crown. A tic-tac short of good breath, a half ounce short to make bail. You never knew how good it would smell to see you in your own personal hell. Your own personal hell. A tick-tock clock got you running circles, and your face, it's turning purple.
I just fucked up my own lyrics. I can't believe I forgot my own lyrics. That's crazy.
A tic-tac short of good breath, a half ounce short to make bail. You never knew how good it would smell to see you in your own personal hell. Your own personal hell. Get what you get what you put in. You never get it back, have a heart attack. You get what you get what you put in. You never get it back, and that's a matter of fact. Get what you get what you put in. You never get it back, you'll have a heart attack. You get what you get what you put in. You never get it back, and that's a matter of fact.
Boom. I can't believe I forgot a full verse of my own song. That's crazy talk. Boom. I think that was a little bit better. I feel better about that.
Is your guitar plugged in, or is it all just going through one microphone?
Yeah, it's plugged in.
Oh, nice.
Did it sound bad or something like that?
No, sounded good to me.
Should have sounded pretty good.
Sounded pretty good to me.
Boom. So there's that.
Woo!
I felt like I did better than what we did last time. I hope I did.
Yeah, I didn't like it last time.
Yeah, that's fine. I didn't
Okay.
either. It was garbage. It was garbage.
Yeah, and Jeff would be proud of you for doing that. So yeah, after you do that, I'm just gonna talk some shit about you. It was making me
Dude, go for it.
It was making me fucking die laughing this week because the Erick and Brad show at gmail.com, Erick and Brad show at gmail.com, like we both have access to this email, and I was watching Erick try to book guests through the email, and he sends this guest an email that says the next show that we're doing is September 26th at 4 p.m. And I'm like, okay, I know that it's not at 4 p.m. It's at 10 a.m. So I message Erick and say the show is at 10 a.m. And he goes, oh, my bad, I'll email her back. Then he emails them back and says, I'm sorry, I messed up. The show's at 4 p.m. Sorry. And I see him send the email. So now the guest hasn't responded, and they got one email that said the show's at 4 p.m. And then they got another email right behind it that said, sorry, my mistake. The show's actually at 4 p.m. And when I saw the second one, I was like, I'm not even going to say anything now.
I don't know why you didn't say anything. Once I realized it, I'm like, oh my fucking God. Fucking idiot. I will, okay.
I was like, I'm just gonna watch this play out instead of try to control it, you know? I can't keep trying to control this.
I'm glad you brought that up. I was fucking so mad when I realized that had happened. And I
was laughing.
I'm pretty sure it was all because I was at work and I was like into something else, and then you like fucking change gears and like
Yeah.
It's not I don't like it at all. Fuck that. I don't like the
Yeah.
my brain can't handle fucking getting fucking emails all day long. But
Yeah.
then I feel bad like waiting days to respond to people, because then I have to wait till I get home to like email, and then
Yeah.
it feels bad, and just the whole thing irritates me. So
It's a
props
pain.
to you for doing better than me.
Props to you. You're
and
doing
then,
great.
And then, you know, just to defend myself, it was funny. But then also throughout this fucking week, I'm getting fucking bombarded with emails from my fucking mortgage lender asking me to sign papers and fucking I need this. So like I can't even focus on work. I'm sitting there trying to fucking do shit at work, and I'm just like, oh fuck, I need to send this out. It was getting irritating.
We need a booking
very
department. So,
But it was funny.
what you're gonna have to do, the person we hire is gonna have to do booking. You're gonna have to book all guests. You're gonna have to edit the show in post production. You're gonna have to think of topics. You're gonna have to post the show as well, and you're gonna have to deal with me overseeing all of this and critiquing it every step of the way. So
Yeah.
send your resume. And you also have to be 19 years old and blonde and a female and hot and live in North Dakota.
Hell
So-
yeah. I'm into it.
Resumes.
They're going to be lining up out the door, bud, with that sales pitch. Okay, so I get, I'm not this. What I'm getting at has nothing to do with what's going on in Portland. But I got it. Something is. I don't know.
Something's happening.
I heard the rambling of, I think this weekend or maybe it's next weekend or something, where Antifa is, they've online. They're like choreographing a certain meetup or something like that. And on the same day, the Proud Boys, the right wing fucking group or whatever, is fucking planning to do their protest, downtown. So people
Great.
are kind of anticipating something bananas might go down. You know what I mean?
This is in Portland.
And this is in Portland. And I heard that, and then all I could take off of that, like, I was like, I'm just kind of, I fucking hate everybody. Like, this whole thing's fucking stupid. But, what I will say, I'll give credit to the left side here. As far as their name, Antifa rolls off the tongue a lot better, and it seems more legit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a better name.
Yeah,
And the Proud Boys is the dumbest fucking name I've ever heard in my life.
that's true.
And most right-wing group names, I think, are real dumb. Right-wing groups have a real hard time naming themselves. Something that's not dumb as hell. Like, and then I was like, you know what they should be called? And then I brought this up to my girlfriend, and she just didn't understand. I was like, they should be the Wolverines! And she's like, what does that even mean? And I'm like, she's like the animal? I'm like, no, the fucking Wolverines.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, you're dumb. And I'm like, no, I'm not dumb. This was, anybody that lived through the 80s would be fucking all about that fucking name. You know what I mean? Pissing in the radiator type thing. Fucking Wolfer fucking commie bastards coming over here. Don't you think Wolverines would be better than the Proud Boys?
Yeah, Proud Boys is terrible. Wolverines.
It's a
See, like Antifa, like has like a mean.
good name. It's a good name. I whoever came up with it, they did a good job.
Yeah.
Their PR person did a great with the name.
Yeah.
Just fucking knocked it out of the park. I wonder if they paid for it. Maybe they brought some company in and was just like, we need a name.
Maybe.
I'm just kidding.
Wolverines is a good name, I guess. Wolverines.
It's better than the fucking Proud Boys.
Yeah,
tell you
it
that.
is. Yeah. Why don't you just
Real
call
dumb.
it like the Red Kingdom or something? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe you sound like you work for fucking Proud Boys PR team. That's a horrible name.
You know, this on the TikTok, it's like, "Welcome to the Red Kingdom."
Oh,
It's a Tech
yeah,
Nine.
yeah,
It's a
yeah,
Tech Nine
yeah,
song,
yeah.
but it's used to show right wing videos, I guess. And Kansas
just
City
like that.
Chiefs.
This is America.
Yeah.
This is America. Who
This
is
is
that?
America.
What's that song?
It's a song by a rapper that goes by the name of Childish Gambino.
Oh, okay. Does he? How do these rappers feel about their songs being used for right wing deals?
I don't think
Have you
they
heard
like
anything
it.
about that?
I don't think they like it.
They don't like it.
I haven't
The-
heard anything
the-
about it, but I don't think I would guess that they don't like it.
Yeah.
Welcome
Yeah,
to
I'm
the Red Kingdom.
So there's that. Yeah, because right wing names suck. Then, I was listening back, editing shit, and I just felt like, maybe since you said last week that you hadn't heard this, I figured I'd secret story time what I skipped out on last week.
Okay.
Because I was like, you didn't hear that story? And then you're like, no, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah, you
And I
referenced
know-
two stories that you never told.
I don't remember what the other story is, but I have one story here.
Okay.
So I know I've put this out online because I definitely did this, but I don't think I did it with this show.
Right.
So I'll explain the story to you.
Okay.
So last week we were talking about mushrooms, and
Oh my
I brought up everyone had got Jesus Christ. Someone's already irritated.
Look, after last week, I was like, no, we can't do any more mushroom or hallucinogenic talk for at least 4 episodes.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, we're not going to talk. I mean, there's
Okay.
a little bit of hallucinogenic talk in this story, but
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
you need to calm down. Okay, you get worked up about everything.
It's triggering.
Jeez Louises. You are fucking always triggered. So I was telling the story about this guy named Adrian, and he had given us all these mushrooms. Well, this one day, I lived in the Diagonal House. It was a shitload of people that lived there. It was. Did you ever go to the Diagonal House? Do you know what that
No.
was?
Mm-mm.
So there was this house right next to the LPO in Sandpoint, Idaho, that just all these kids lived in. Just fucking kids. And it was 2 houses, and you could only get to the back house through. You had to walk through the front house, and then it was all gated in the back. And then you had to walk through the backyard to get to the back house. And the owners lived in the back house, and and then in the front house, it was a really weird house. It was just like you'd walk down this hallway, and it was just room, just stacked all the way down with a bathroom in the center and then a kitchen at the very end of the hallway. It's a fucking
Okay.
weird house.
Okay.
Weird design of a house. And just kids, just nothing but kids. So in the front, during this story, there was always rooms changing, roommates changing and shit. But during this story time, there was, okay, so you'd walk down the house, and on the first door you'd come into, there was a couple there. Yeah, whatever. This girl had, she was a big old girl. She had a fucking swastika about 2 feet by 2 feet tattooed on her back.
Dear
Fucking big old Swazi on her back.
God. Ugh.
And then in the room to the left was who I talked about last week, was the Kyler guy. And he was like a recovering addict from Detroit or some fucking, and he was bananas in his own right. Like he had fucking hate carved in his chest that he'd done with a knife. Like fucking bananas. Like everything about these people was bananas.
Sure.
And so he lived in the front house. He was older. He was like the oldest person. And he was like, at the time, he was like 25, 26, 27 or something like that. And we were all like fresh out of high school. Then you move down to the next set of rooms, and my room was the next room down to the right, and it was just me in there. And then the next room down from that was my buddy Mountain's room, and then you go to the back house, and then there's and then every night there was always all the roommates there, but then there was always at least 5, 6, 7 more people just
Right.
hanging out, partying, and shit like that. And so this specific night, there was a barter fair going on, which for people who don't know what a barter fair is, it's just a fucking commune out in the woods where people meet up and do a bunch of drugs.
Yeah.
And I didn't go. I don't know why I didn't go, but everyone else in the house went to this barter fair. And then I'm by myself in the house, and then at like Sunday night or something like that, they all come back. Like all these fucking people come back from the barter fair, and they'd been doing acid all weekend and drugs, and they're all fucked up, and they're all, they're sleeping. Everyone's like in sleep mode. They just partied hard.
Yeah.
And so they come back to this house, and I'm in the house, and this kid named Luke we went to high school with, he didn't live there, but he just came to the house, and he's like the most fucked up out of everyone. He had a rough weekend.
Oh.
He's like, he walks in the door and he's like, dude, I need to go to bed. And he didn't live there. And I was like, dude, just go ahead and go into my room. And I had like a lazy boy chair. And I was like, you can just pass out in the lazy boy. And I was like, well, just turn the lights off. You can close the door. Go pass out. He's like, sweet, thanks, man. Well, he goes to bed in there. And then a bunch of us just rendezvous in my buddy Mountain's room. And there's like 6, 7, 8 of us in this room. Or 5, 6, I don't know. Let's say 6 people. And we're all like laying on the bed and like hanging out. Everything's real chill. Everyone's like smoking pot, and we're just blah, blah, blah. Well, this Adrian guy, I don't think he had went to the barter fair, but during this period of time, for like a week, he had been taking mushrooms every single day. You did not see him where he was not frying. Like that's all he did. He'd just wake up and and so he was like losing his fucking mind.
Yeah.
He was like crazy shit was going on. And like all the days leading up to this, he had a cheap shitty ass CD player with shitty ass little headphones. And he'd just be walking around by himself, just holding the CD player, just walking around. You just see him in the backyard, just like doing circles, and wasn't talking to anybody, just in his own fucking world. And we're like, this guy is losing his goddamn mind. Well, a little backstory on this Adrian guy is he's hippie as hippie fucking gets. Dreadlocks, fucking burnout hippie as you can possibly be. But he's a construction worker, and he is fucking jacked. Like, it was bananas. When he'd take his shirt off, you're like, what? Like 8-pack. Just 8-pack abs ripped to fucking shreds. But
Okay.
then his face just like, yeah, man. Fucking yeah, man. Like, it was weird. His face and his body did not match at all.
Right.
And so anyways, that's the stage. He's in the house. He's passed out on the fucking couch. Oh, and then a funny side note to this is he had stolen the couch from a girl who was sleeping on the couch, like paying a quarter rent to go because she couldn't get her own room. She'd just sleep on the couch. Well, she was black, and then we had the Swazi girl in the front room. So we had a girl with a 2-foot swastika and then a black girl sleeping on the couch. It was just bananas. The whole thing was fucking bananas.
That is bananas.
And fucking, and so, yeah, we're all in this room hanging out. Adrian's passed out on the fucking couch on his mushroom bender that he's been on. And fucking, he's finally asleep. And then the kid's in my room sleeping on the ottoman. He's been on an acid bender for like 2 days. And all these kids, like, I don't know if you've been around people that have done ecstasy or Molly, but they'll bring like toys with them, like light up toys and shit. So they had this flashlight that you would like get at a amusement park.
Uh-huh.
Like you'd see like kids get it to where you like turn the flashlight on and then a little spinny thing would like spin.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it would like
Perfect.
make lights and like you know what I mean? Do these like shapes and shit like that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like red and blues and
Yeah.
then make this circular effect as it spun. So I'm like playing with this light and I get this idea. I'm like, dude, I'm going to go fuck with this kid who's been on an acid bender. I'm a piece of shit. I understand this.
Smart.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah. And so I sneak into my room and I'm with a buddy of mine. I can't remember who it was with me, but we go into this room, my room, and it's pitch black in there. And I fucking take this light and stick it in the kid's face that's passed out, that's been on an acid bender. And I
Yeah.
turn the fucking light on like 3 inches from his fucking face. And so it's doing this spinny red-blue thing. And the kid wakes up and does the funniest shit of it. Like, has a full fucking panic attack. Like, ah, 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 ah! It just freaks the fuck out. And I am laughing hysterically. And I run out of the fucking room and run back into the other room. Because he's like, yeah, he thinks he just saw God. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Yeah.
or the devil or something. He freaked the fuck out. And I run back in laughing my ass off. And whoever's with me, same thing. We both run into this room and just like kind of hide in this room. And there's like 6 people in the room and I'm laughing. And you can hear the kid in the other room like get up and he's pissed. You know what I mean? He's like, what the fuck? What the fuck is going on? Fucking what the fuck? And he's getting up, and I'm just like sitting in this room, like okay, like da 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 da. And I can see him come out of the room, and he goes like walking down the hallway to come into the room,
Mm-hmm.
and and he's pissed. And right before he gets to the doorway, Adrian pops into the doorway, and he's, as far as we all know, he's been fucking passed out on the couch. He shoots into the doorway, and he's furious. He's fucking so mad, and we're all like, what the fuck? Like, what is going on right now? And he's just like, who the fuck? What the fuck? And he's ripped. He's a scary dude.
Right.
And we're all like children. And he's an older guy. And he's freaking the fuck out. Like, and he's not making any sense because he's been on fucking mushrooms for 2 weeks. And he is furious. Furious. Like fucking madder than mad. And we're like, what the fuck? And he's like, who fucking did that? Who fucking did that? Who fucking did that? And then he looks over at this lamp. And he grabs the lamp and he goes, maybe it was this fucking lamp. And we're all like, what? And he just slams this lamp on the ground. And we're like, okay, dude. Like, okay.
Oh my
And then the
God.
other kid that's like mad as fuck is now like, what is happening? He came mad. And now he's like scared. Like, what the fuck is happening right now? And then Adrian just goes walking down the hallway screaming. Like, just fuck all you guys. And he's like, you fucking hide your shoes. I'm going to shit in all your fucking shoes. We're like, what is he talking about? And then then Adrian like disappears. And fucking that was that. So then, like, that's that night. That was a bananas night. Then like a week later, a fucking fight breaks out between this Adrian guy and the guy who's married to the swastika girl. And they are both screaming at each other, like toe to toe in the house. And I come in and we all just like, everyone kind of gangs up on this hippie dude And we're like, dude, you need to get the fuck out of the house, dude. Like, you need to go. You're fucking losing your goddamn mind.
Yeah.
And like, get out. You're kicked out. And fucking, so he leaves. And he's all fucking pissed. Gets on his bike and fucking takes off. And it's like 10 o'clock at night or something like that. And I have to go to work the next day. So it's like a week or so. I don't know. It's after that whole thing played out. But we kick him out. I fucking go to bed. And I was always the first one to wake up in the morning because no one had like morning jobs. They all like worked at restaurants and shit. I work construction. I'd wake up early. I'd always be the first one, the only one awake in the mornings.
Yeah.
And at that time, I was still pretty lazy, and fucking my brother would show up and pick me up, or he would get dropped off at my house, and then we'd drive to work together, and then I would drive him to work. And fucking, so he'd always show up, like, and I'd still be asleep, and he'd walk into my room and like, hey, we gotta go. You know what I mean? It's time to go to work. And fucking, he wakes me up, and we go to work as normal, and he tells me on the way to work, he's like, or some conversation throughout the day, he's like, the Adrian guy was up this morning, and I was like, we kicked him out last night, and I was like, you saw him? He's like, yeah, he was getting on his bike this morning, heading out. He's like, I thought it was strange that he was up so early in the morning. You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, that is strange. And fucking, so then I come home at night, and then stories all start like rolling in, and they're all like, did you see what the fuck happened last night? I'm like, what? I was like, everything seemed fine when I went to work this morning. And what had happened is we kick him out, and then he comes back at like 5 in the morning and fucking breaks back into the house and takes everyone's toothbrushes and everyone's pipes and puts them in the toilet and fucking pisses all over them. And then we never saw Adrian again. That he was just gone. Just disappeared. Never saw him again in my life.
Yeah, how's Adrian doing today?
I have no idea.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. Why don't you just, like, you could probably rent a room for, like, $300 a month in someone's house. That sounds crazy.
Yeah. It was a fucking fun time, dude. Telling you what, that house was bananas, but some of the best memories ever were at that house.
Jesus Christ.
So there's secret story time.
Cast of characters.
I'm sure someone will fucking enjoy that story.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe it was this fucking lamp. Like, yeah,
oh, dude, that fucking...
Maybe.
Anybody that was there, I know Mountain was there. I don't know who else was in the room, but there was other people in that room. And, dude, I'll tell you what, that was the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life. Fucking, maybe it was this fucking lamp. We're like, what are you fucking talking about, dude? Like,
yeah,
he legitimately thought the lamp, like, came and woke him up. Like, that's what was going through his head. He's like, who woke me up? Maybe it was this fucking lamp. What are you talking about?
Jesus.
Yeah, bananas times. Don't do drugs, kids.
Yeah,
don't do drugs.
Don't. This one time we were sitting around watching something, and a buddy, we had gotten this weed. This was a long time ago. Oh, before 2010. And our buddy was sitting there in a chair. It was like a single, it wasn't like a lazy boy really, but it was like a single sofa chair. And the weed that we had gotten smelled like Febreze. That's all it smelled like, was Febreze. And we're sitting there watching something, and he's just sitting there still, just watching TV, and then he goes, whoa! He goes, whoa! Did you guys just see that little green frog right on the arm of this chair? And we're like, what, dude? What are you talking about, dude? And he's like, sorry, never mind. Never mind. Like, whoa. Jesus.
That's a story you're just like, fuck, you see that frog right over there?
Yeah. Did you guys just see that little green frog? No. We didn't. Calm down.
That was from weed? That was
Yeah.
just weed?
That smelled like Febreze. That someone probably sprayed
Smelled like
Febreze on.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
having a chemical reaction to smoking Febreze.
Yeah. Exactly. It was fucked up.
Well, I'm all
Don't do
out.
drugs. Erick and Bradshaw at gmail.com. Erick and Bradshaw at gmail.com. Episode 24.
Yeah,
Thanks
if
for
anybody,
listening.
you can email me if anybody wants to loan me $8 million. That would be fantastic. Really looking forward to that T-Rex.
Can't wait.
It's gonna need to be probably more like let's say 8.5 million, because I'm gonna need to buy a warehouse to store it. I'm gonna need to go. Well, fuck transportation too.
I was gonna say,
We're gonna need $9 million. We're gonna need $9 million. I'm gonna need a warehouse to store it, and I'm gonna need probably, I'm assuming probably let's say $15,000 to transport the T-Rex. Maybe that might be 50,000. I don't know what that would work out to be.
well, do you have to take it apart? You're not gonna. It apart.
That's what I mean. You're gonna have to pay some fucking paleontologist to fucking take it apart in pieces and put it back together.
Yeah.
Or something.
Right.
That might be $1 million right there, just transportation of the
I can
T-Rex.
I can barely take apart, the smallest thing and put it back together correctly, let alone a fucking T-Rex. I'd be like, I don't know where all these bones went. I don't know if we're missing any. How are we gonna reassemble this thing? Fuck.
Yeah.
I spent $7 million and I took this T-Rex apart and moved it in a U-Haul. Now I can't put it back together. So the best way to do it would just be to keep it all together, assembled, glued, or however it is.
And you'd have an oversized load going down the freeway.
Yes. Yeah, you would.
The T-Rex. So that, please email us about what I was saying earlier about what you think works with the show, what doesn't work with the show, what's unnecessary, what's necessary.
Please.
Blah, blah, blah. Because I'm kind of in a self-reflective mode right now, and I want to hear it. I want to hear what's going on.
Hit him with it.
Rock and roll, and thanks, Jeff, for being the guest. Episode 24 in the books. Bye.
Bye.